I'm Donnie Johnson, and this is a quick tutorial on basketball. First thing you want to do when playing basketball, of course, is to make sure you're nice and stretched out. So right now we're going to put the ball down, and Pedro's going to come in here and we're going to do some basketball stretches, all right?
See.
All right, first things first. We got to stretch those middle, this thing. It's called a belly. You got to stretch that out. Come on. 1, 2, 3. I think that's enough. Okay. Now, Pedro, grab my leg. Hold it there. 1, 2. Okay, that's enough. All right. Now, we're going to stretch like this. All right, and you're going to want to reach and try to lick your elbow while you're doing it. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, Pedro. All right, I think we're done stretching. Let's get on to basketball, okay? All right, before we start playing basketball, there's 3 important principles that you need to remember. Number 1, you need to keep your eye on the ball at all times. Number 2, you need to be practicing your footwork. Fancy footwork, I know, but you'll learn how to do it eventually. Number 3, try to get away with as many cheap shots as possible. This is key in playing basketball. If you watch the NBA, you'll see that the best players always get away with the best cheap shots. Now, let's go on to shooting right now. Unless you're really tall or you can jump very high, you're always going to have to be doing this with the ball. This is called dribbling. It is a basic skill that you need to do before you can shoot. Now this first shot we're going to learn is called the layup. All right? Watch as I simply go through, post up, put my foot back like that, and hit it off the square, and it goes in. You see how simple that is? Now, if you're watching this at home, I want you to pause the video and try that for yourselves, all right? So go ahead and try it. Oh, sorry, you almost caught me there. I was doing another major basketball skill that you'll see many different teams doing, like the Harlem Globetrotters and possibly the Pacers. But I'm not sure who invented the move, but it looks really cool, and I almost cannot do it. All right, we're moving on to the next portion of this basketball video, which is man-on-man defense and offense. All right, boys and girls, first of all, we're gonna work on our offensive moves today. Like, something like, ooh, like that. If you wanna learn how to do that, that'll be explained later in the video. But right now, we're gonna learn how to block. Actually, we're not learning how to block, sorry. We're learning how to get past opponents. Pedro here probably doesn't know anything about basketball, which he's like many people that haven't watched the video and acquired these skills. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dribble, and I'm going to use a little move that I like to call the old switcheroo. And here we go. Ready, Pedro? Ready? Ready? Oh, switch up!
Madre de Dios!
Oh! Pedro! Stop! Pedro!
What?
No! Oh God, it's the INS! It's coming, the INS is coming! Run, Pedro, run! Oh!
No!
Pedro!
No!
Come down!
No, señor!
I was just kidding. Okay, cut, Pedro. Come on, Pedro. The next thing we're gonna do before we go into defensive blocking is we're gonna learn how to do the jump shot. And I'm gonna bring Pedro back in so he can demonstrate that. Pedro, a jump shot, please. Let's go, Pedro. Okay, jump shot. Jump shot. You know what a jump shot is? No habla inglés? Jump shot. Try jump shot. All right, here we go. All right. Pedro! Okay, I'm going to demonstrate the jump shot. And here we go.
Estúpido gringo.
Get back to the shed. All right, now we're gonna work on our defensive blocking, which I'm gonna be on defense. This time Pedro is gonna be on offense. He's gonna be trying to drive to the goal and make a basket. We have to remember the 3 principles of basketball I went over at the first of the video. Number 1, keep your eye on the ball at all times. Number 2, fancy footwork. But could the camera please go down to my feet for fancy footwork? And number 3, get in as many cheap shots as you can. This means whatever you can get away with. I'll demonstrate. All right, Pedro, let's go. Come on. I would have gotten away with that in the game. And that, my folks, is a real cheap shot. All right, next, we're going to go on to our fancy footwork, which is one of the principles of basketball. But I've seemed to have exhausted Pedro for the day. So, come on, Pedro. I didn't even kick you that hard. All right, well, since we don't have Pedro anymore, we're going to bring in the cameraman, Chris Person, to help us with our fancy footwork.
What?
All right, as you can see, I've put down the basketball because now we're going to work on our fancy footwork. And here to help me is my new assistant, Chris Person. Now, as you can see, I've donned a very, very tight jacket that accentuates my sexy body. Also, Chris has donned a very tight jacket that accentuates his not very sexy body. I mean, it's okay.
Dude, these are my regular clothes.
Okay. Anyways, let's get started on the fancy footwork, okay? If I could have the camera down on my feet. All right, first thing, this is just like dancing, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your right foot, put it back here, and take your left foot, move it over here, and take your right foot, move it over here, and take your left foot and move it over here. All right, you wanna see that really fast? All right, you ready? You're gonna be able to do that one day if you continue to practice. Now we're gonna have Chris try to do that. Chris, please. All right. Okay. Now, right foot behind the left foot.
Right foot behind the left foot.
Move the left foot over. Right foot in front of the left foot. Move the left foot over. All right. Looks like he's getting the step. All right. Now, we're going to do it all the way across the pavement. All right. You ready? And go. Someday you're going to be able to do that if you practice enough. All right? We're going to move on to the next step, which is actually dancing while you're playing a basketball. Good. Another thing about basketball is using psychological tactics against your opponents, such as victory dances that will lower morale of the other team, and such things as punching the other one in the head. Anyways, let's get started on scare tactics. All right. Now, I'm going to take a shot. Chris is blocking me. Come on, Chris. Wow, that doesn't really look like a block, but okay. Now, if I don't make the shot, just imagine that I did. But I probably will make the shot. Okay, let's just imagine that I made the shot. Okay, you grab your opponent, you dance. Psychological tactics. Psychological tactics. Makes him feel like a woman. You feel demoralized?
I do.
He does. And that, my friends, will demoralize the other team and make them look like little ninnies. One last exercise I'm going to show you before we go is the exercise that will help you with the first principle of basketball, and that is keeping your eye on the ball. And what you're going to do is you're going to have a partner, which is me, take the ball and wave it all over the place, and you, that's you, sadly, you have to follow it, the ball with your eyes, okay? So watch. Follow the ball, Chris, with your eyes. With your eyes, come on. Follow the ball. Follow the ball. Keep following it. Keep following it. And you're going to have to throw them some curveballs in here somewhere. You know, some scare tactics as well. Because everybody needs demoralizing every once in a while. Why do you keep looking at me? Why do you keep looking at me, huh? Why do you keep looking at me, huh? Huh? Look at the ball. Watch the ball. Quit looking at me. Huh? 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 What are you staring at my crotch for, huh? What are you staring at my crotch for? And once again, he's demoralized. And from all of us here at B-Ball Institute, thanks for watching this video. And hopefully one day, you'll be as good a basketball player as I am.